conflict in the West Philippine Sea revolves around competing territorial claims between multiple countries. Primarily China and the Philippines. China asserts expansive claims over most of the sea, including areas within the Philippines Exclusive Economic Zone. This has led to tensions as the Philippines contests China claims and seeks to defend its sovereignty and maritime rights. The presence of the Chinese vessels and structures in disputed waters has heightened concerns over security and the potential for conflict. Diplomatic efforts, legal arbitration, and international pressure have been employed to address the dispute, but a lasting resolution remains elusive. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, set out rules for how countries can use and share the oceans. It helps resolve disputes by defining maritime zones and providing a process for countries to make claims based on things like geography and history.
Aside from the Philippines also asserts its maritime entitlements in the West Philippine Sea based on the principal outline and clause. The Philippines asserts historical claims based on the ancient maps, historical records, and traditional fishing rights in the area. These claims are tied to the Treaty of Paris 1898, which ended the Spanish-American War. Under this treaty, Spain ceded the Philippines to the United States, and there is an argument that the features in the West Philippine Sea were part of the Philippines territory during the colonial period.
Over the past few years, China has been building military installations on artificial islands in the West Philippine Sea. Rising concerns about its intention in the region, the Philippines filed a legal challenge under UNCLOS to clarify and seek a resolution to dispute. Diplomatic efforts have been made to manage tensions, including negotiations between countries involved and calls for adherence to international law to prevent escalation.
Diplomatic efforts, including arbitration cases such as the 2016 ruling against China, has bolstered the Philippines' stance on the territorial claims in the West Philippine Sea by affirming its right under international law, particularly UNCLOS. These efforts help the Philippines to assert its sovereignty and maritime entitlements while seeking peaceful resolutions to disputes through multilateral dialogues and diplomatic channels. The Philippines' diplomatic engagements underscore its commitment to upholding the role of law and maintaining stability in the region. Evidence regarding the alleged secret deal between Rodrigo's administration and the China is largely speculative and lacks substantial confirmation. While there have been reports of agreements on joint exploration and development in South China Sea, the details and implication of such deals remains unclear. If such agreement compromise the Philippines' sovereignty by conceding territorial claims or undermining its legal rights, they could significantly impact the country's position in the region and its ability to assert its maritime interests. Regional tension characterized by the increased military activities and resource exploitation in the West Philippine Sea have compelled the Philippines to adopt a more assertive stance in asserting its claims. The Philippines has sought to strengthen its maritime presence through strategic partnerships, enhance its defense capabilities, and engage in diplomatic initiatives to safeguard the sovereignty and maritime interest in the face of escalating regional challenges. The tensions have underscored the importance of upholding international law and multilateral cooperation in managing disputes and preserving stability in the region. The Philippines' engagement with nations like United States and the ASEAN is critically for addressing disputes and ensuring maritime security in the West Philippine Sea. Collaborative efforts with the U.S. provides military support, deterrence against external threats, while participation in ASEAN promotes multilateral dialogue and diplomatic solution to regional challenges. Through these partnerships, the Philippines can bolster its maritime capabilities, strengthen its position in negotiations, and uphold the rule of law in the face of competing territorial claims and geopolitical dynamics.
Governments like United States have criticized China's militarization of the West Philippine Sea, urging peaceful resolution and adherence to international law. International organizations such as the United Nations have called for dialogue and respect for maritime rules to avoid conflict. Civil society groups have voiced concerns over environmental damage and the impact on the local communities, advocating for sustainable solutions and the protection of their livelihoods. The West Philippine Sea conflict shows how complicated it can be when countries disagree over who owns what. Is important for everyone to talk and listen to each other, finding a solution that respects everyone's rights and keeps things peaceful.
The documentary could have several implications for the maritime industry. Firstly, it may raise awareness about the complexities and challenges in the region, potentially influencing maritime policies and regulations. Secondly, it could impact investment decisions and operational strategies for companies operating in or near the West Philippine Sea, particularly in terms of security measures and risk assessments. As a future seafarer, watching such a documentary could provide valuable insight into the geopolitical dynamics of the area, enhancing your understanding of potential hazards and the importance of adherence to the international maritime laws and regulation while navigating these waters. It could also shape your perspective on the broader socio-political context in which maritime activities occur, influencing your career choice and approach to safety and security at sea.